Welcome to this new episode of Digital Dialogs with Gururaj and Vinayak Khadye. Before we begin with the podcast, here is a brief introduction of Guru and Vinayak. Gururaj is a well-respected professional with more than 2 decades of experience in CXO roles in banking, financial services, and insurance companies in India. Vinayak Khadye has more than 2 decades of experience in leadership roles in consulting, insurance industry and also as a co-founder of a startup in edtech space. He is the founder of Techaways Consulting. In Digital Dialogs podcast series, Gururaj and Vinayak go beyond jargons and buzzwords in the digital world and bring to the fore the true meanings of these terms. They discuss models, methodologies, technologies, architectures, case studies, and challenges and issues associated with digital initiatives, which can help you as decision maker. In this episode, Gururaj and Vinayak continue to discuss the prospects and relevance of a wide range of digital technologies in 2023. Over to Gururaj and Vinayak.
So we'll move on from mobile to analytics. So analytics, in fact, in various shapes and form, has been around as long as computerization or adoption of information technology uh, in businesses. So when structured data was available for businesses, in large number, through which decisions could be made. You had at the operational level some kind of simple MIS or reporting systems. Then for tactical, uh, decision making, you have business BI, business intelligence, systems which would look at you know summarized data. Okay, and then of course you the next stage is predictive analytics, etc., which can aid you in your both tactical as well as strategic decision making. Okay, so we had basic this technology set available, but of course subsequently uh, people realize that a lot of unstructured data gets overlooked, okay,
Correct.
within the corporates, and then you can correlate both structured and unstructured data, and then of course big data came in, okay, and now ODSs are getting replaced by data lakes and stuff like that. So what's your views on analytics? Where it is now purely from analytics. I mean, not as a foundational take for AI/ML, but just purely in the context that I just mentioned.
True. Analytics, as you rightly
Again, it's a very
pointed out,
vast topic, but if
absolutely.
you have to summarize quickly.
Yeah. Uh, it all started, as you said rightly, that I mean, with analytics of the data that is getting captured in the businesses, transaction data, data which is routinely captured for analysis of operations and efforts and costs and those kind of things. Through initial rudimentary steps like spreadsheets, then moving on to specific statistical tools, which could be used for planning your operations and doing a lot of calculations and statistical modeling. So all those have happened. And on the engineering side, things have moved from RDBMS to how do you extract the information with various ETL tools coming up with ready connectors and the easy to use solutions for that, and then putting them into various concepts like data marts, data warehouses, and all that stuff. Again, if you take a look at the technology aspect of it, the data which is captured initially by business transactions, it is into databases of the applications which are, I mean, the databases are called normalized databases in a particular way of defining the rows, the fields in and the tables within the database. And then they get, when you do the ETL, extraction, transformation, loading, or uh, you know, uh, transformation, loading, etc. So ELT you could do. So from a technical aspect, and you denormalize the data to bring it back into a shape where you can do analysis of that data in a more efficient way. So all these things have become much more advanced and automated. So earlier, what used to be done by technical people, that you write scripts, you upload them, you then do various transformations and then run the analysis. Now it has become fairly smooth, and the computing power has improved so much that you can do all these things much faster. You can store more and more amount of data for more and more amount of time or in various shapes. All that has happened. So the evolution of the technology for data analytics has improved a lot. After the storage, the way you want to present the data, you want to study the data. So analytical models have started coming in. The way you present the data in terms of business intelligence tools, the graphical tools or the visual analysis, all that has started, has again become a mature place. So there are good tools available by which people can see the information, understand it in much easier ways. So, and as you said, the various steps, right from descriptive to diagnostic to predictive to prescriptive. A lot of changes are happening. Yes, along with structured data, which were captured in RDBMSs, to unstructured data of files, images, texts, voice, all that is happening now. So very good evolution, a lot of stuff happening on the data analytics front, and organizations are seeing benefit in leveraging these. Uh, it's only now a matter of imagination. And I keep saying this, that there is more information outside an enterprise than inside an enterprise. So how do you tap that? Okay, and
Yeah, very true.
that data can be in various formats, various sizes. You have to bring it in, filter it, make sense out of it. Because uh, while you have enough technology to put together all these things, finally you have to ask the right questions to get the right answers. Otherwise, you put in information and you're just like, searching for a needle in a haystack, just some junk would come out. So it's extremely essential to know how to use these things. You have to combine the two, the engineering expertise of the tools and the domain expertise to understand the data and leverage it for further business benefits.
True. So, in if you look at insurance industry where both of us have spent significant time in India, uh, some I get the feeling that insurance industry is still not stable. So for example, social, that uh, tech is stable. Adoption is also, people know what to do. People have answers. It's just the journey that is probably taking time. Same is the case with mobile.
Hmm.
People know what to do. It's the journey that is, different companies are at different stages of their journeys within the adoption of mobile. But somehow I get the feeling that analytics, there is a lot of chaos. Okay, it's not a very I mean, if you talk to folks who are delivering analytics solutions to the corporates, both within the company and outside the company, I think most of the time, and even the users, consumers of that, the solutions and the technology, they will feel that there is a lot to be done. There
Yes.
is never a level of comfort, that yes, we are in control of our uh, analytics piece within the company. Don't you think so?
Absolutely valid. I mean, see, while we talk about analytics, as a technology, analytics runs for data, right? And the concern about data starts right from what are we capturing and what shape are we capturing, what is the quality of what we have captured, and taking it through, how do we store it, how do we process it, etc. So right from that stage of data capture, there is a lot of concern about what is happening. And I mean, there are a lot of, while basically it looks very simple, right? Data comes in, we put it into various places, analyze it, and come out. But there are a lot of uh, parameters for understanding and processing that data. you know are you enriching the data, are you updating it, is it relevant, uh, is it in a shape that you would want to see, uh, you know and then there are different outputs. Do you want outputs in a cohort for analysis, modeling, etc., or are you doing real time for contextualization and hyper personalization? uh, you know so there are various cuts, there are various parameters to look at, and then take the answer. Otherwise it's very easy for people to say, oh, my analytics does not work, or I'm not, as you said, I'm not comfortable, because uh, yes. And the basic fact is that data and uh, the business judgment have to go together. Okay, sometimes you may feel data is saying something, but my judgment says, my experience says it's not right. Okay, or it's the other way. You feel that uh, something is right as per your experience, your judgment, but the data is not supporting it. And I'm not saying what is right, what is wrong. These scenarios happen, and the organization should have the ability to decide in such a situation. And it happens often. So how, and I can give you simple examples, right? I mean, it depends, as I said, on data capture. I worked in a rural financing organization where, when we started capturing customer profession, the most popular profession of our customers in rural India was animation, because alphabetically that was the first one. So the person who was capturing it just, picked that radio button and moved ahead. I mean, this is the story. So how do you trust the data? Then you know that you are in rural India, you are selling equipment to agricultural, industry. You don't expect animation to be there, but then it's there in the data. So depends on how data supports your business decision and business judgment, and vice versa. So
Yeah,
my point is, right from the capture of data till the time you run it. And there are, of course, various concerns with regard to data that we can discuss separately, on privacy and maintaining it for regulations and all that stuff. So that is a different story. Data
correct.
analytics, from a technology standpoint, is becoming more and more mature, more and more efficient. But the usage needs to become more mature. I mean, there's a lot more to discuss, lot more to understand, and yes, implementation will take some time.
Yeah. So good. I mean, so we'll just briefly touch upon the underlying issues. Okay. While analytics, is more or less somewhere in between growth and maturity. I mean, both from evolution perspective as well as adoption perspective, especially young Indian organizations. Uh,
Yeah.
and it's a fairly big market. Uh, uh, but when you look at underlying issues that you talked about, and there are a lot of technologies which are going to which support these issues. Okay, so one is data quality. I mean, you've talked about briefly with your experience. Data governance. I mean, and quality and governance are very closely related to each other. And third point you mentioned is privacy. So we should expect, especially with data privacy law now, hopefully, you know, uh, be approved by the or enacted by the parliament, and that should see a lot of challenges and issues in terms of managing the privacy of data. Currently, of course, in the absence of the law, it's like free for all, and there are lots of uh, you know frauds and security risks which are being completely unaddressed. But once data privacy law comes in, I think corporates will have their hands full, in terms of enforcing, the data privacy and guaranteeing that to the consumers, right? So, quality, governance, and privacy. Uh, these are going to be, these are going to be the technologies or tech that is going to ensure these things will also come in prominence
Yeah.
in the next. Data privacy, sorry, data governance and data quality. Uh, some work has already happened, but mostly probably only large corporates are,
All right.
focused and investing onto it. I don't think uh, media, medium scale, or even the smaller range or the lower end of the large scale organizations are really focusing on that, and then of course data privacy. So overall, I think if you look at data and analytics space, there's still a lot of action that we will see, this year and in years to come. It's
Very
not
much.
going. While it's been there for a long time, but it's still you. I hesitate to really classify it as mature in terms of both the evolution and the adoption.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would think that the technologies are fairly there. Yes, there may still be friction between various technologies. I mean, they may not all be interoperable. That is one issue. So that needs to evolve. But yes, adoption, certainly there is a long way to go. I mean, people have the enthusiasm and the direction, but there's a lot to be done in terms of adoption. Uh,
Okay.
it's not
Okay.
easy.
Yeah. True. So that means we've covered social media, mobile analytics.